I think in as much as we're discussing Black Panther right now, and we're gonna get into this whole recasting T'Challa thing, there's so much about T'Challa that we never got to see in the movies, and it's sad because there's a lot of okay. The reason I'm saying this is in the comics, Black Panther was part of the Illuminati, right?
Mm.
Well, I mean, initially he declined and he said that what if, what if I don't agree with your
No, no, no.
decisions?
What he
What
said
then?
is that what if all of you find yourself at odds with each other? What happens
Yes,
then? Walk
right,
away now. That's
right,
basically what he says.
right. And he's been married to Storm from the X Men, and then they
Mm,
divorced because of that whole.
no,
I
because of
think
writers.
No,
yes,
yeah,
but I think
yeah,
in the
let's call it
story
what it
that
is.
that was that debate between mutants and
No,
heroes, right?
so what happened is that there was Avengers versus X-Men. Terrible
Yes,
event. Terrible. But basically the premise of it is that the Phoenix Force is coming. The
right,
Avengers say the Phoenix Force is bad. The
right,
X-Men say the Phoenix Force is necessary because they went through an event called House of M where they
right.
lost all the mutants.
Mutants.
So
Because
they
of
like
Silver Witch. I mean,
uh, Scarlet
the Scarlet
Witch.
Witch.
Scarlet Witch.
Yes,
Yes, because of
yes,
Scarlet Witch, because she had a mental breakdown and she wiped out all mutants or whatever.
yes,
So Scott Summers, Cyclops wants the Phoenix Force to come and
right,
create mutants. The
right,
problem is that in the process, it's going to kill a lot of people
right,
because it's the Phoenix Force. The
right,
Avengers are like, we have to stop this from coming to Earth because it's going to kill a lot of people.
right,
Now it became a debate of whose lives is more important and all of that stuff. And Scott Summers was team mutants. He was like, we need more mutants.
right.
So what happens is that eventually it comes down to five people getting the Phoenix Force. So it
Yes,
was Namor, it was Scott
Colossus,
Summers, it was
mm,
Colossus,
Emma
it
Frost,
was Emma Frost,
Namor.
and wait, I mentioned Namor. Who's the fifth
Oh,
one?
this guy, the big guy, the big thin guy,
No, no, no. We mentioned Colossus.
Colossus.
Yeah, there's one more person that has it. I can't remember now. Anyway, okay, those are the people that we remember.
Wait, who
It's a
did you
bunch of
mention? You mentioned Emma
so
Frost. You mentioned
Emma
Cyclops. You
Frost,
mentioned
Cyclops, Colossus,
yes,
Namor. I think his sister, Ileana.
Polaris.
No, not Polaris. Ileana. No, Polaris is Magneto's other daughter. It's Ileana Rasputin. Magic. Her name is Magic, I
Okay,
think.
There you
okay.
go.
Yeah, there's five. Somebody can correct me on the fifth one. The fifth one, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I
But
also forgot who the fifth one is. To be
but
honest.
anyway, those five have the Phoenix Force. Now, what happens is that the Phoenix Force is trying to find Hope Summers.
Mm.
So Hope is wait, is it Hope Summers? Yeah, I think it's Hope Summers. Anyway, Hope is the person that can handle the Phoenix Force basically because her powers is she's like she has a Sharingan basically, like she can
Yeah,
copy anybody's powers.
yeah,
So she has the powers to control the Phoenix Force or whatever. So the Phoenix Force is looking for her. So the
right.
Avengers are like, we cannot give the like we cannot let her get the Phoenix Force because last time this happened, Jean Grey happened, and that was a disaster,
The
Right.
right?
planet got vaporized.
Yes. So
Yes.
they're worried, right?
Right.
And I'm not trying to frame this that the X-Men are wrong. This is we like I'm just saying the event as a whole, it sucked. Like a lot of the characters sucked. So what happened is that Namor floods Wakanda looking for the
Yes.
Avengers
And that's
because
that's something that we were expecting in the second film, by the way. But we'll get
We
there.
will get
We'll
there.
get there. We'll get there. We'll get
so Namor floods Wakanda and it's bad. Lots of people are dying. T'Challa's literally like, I will see Namor dead for this. Like,
there. Right.
Captain America is thinking maybe we can negotiate. T'Challa's like, there's no negotiation here.
Negotiating.
He killed my people.
Right.
I'm going to kill him. This is not up for debate.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So after that whole thing wraps up, Storm is stuck between choosing Wakanda and choosing the
Mm,
mutants. But
yes.
before she can even make a choice, apparently, well, actually, she makes a choice, like, in a sense that is inconsistent with her character, in my opinion, because I didn't
Okay.
understand. And she and T'Challa have a fight.
Right.
Then after that fight, I mean, maybe I'm mixing events here, but after that fight, their marriage gets annulled because
Yes.
everybody in Wakanda is just like, we can't trust these mutants. And
Right.
and it's just like a lot of people go to, and then they say like, and I mean, again, the event is horrible, but people will be like, T'Challa was such a dick to Storm or whatever. Like, why did he just annul their marriage? And I'm just like, he's king of a country. Like, his
That
people,
was just flooded.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Most
his
of them are
people,
just
like if
basically
his
looking.
people are uncomfortable with
Right.
mutants, he can't
Right.
just. It's not like he can just say that they must just accept what happened. Like if the council wants to do that, yes, T'Challa at that time has ultimate power, but he still has to be diplomatic because he's running a country. Otherwise, that's how you get rebellions. So
Yeah.
he
There
does.
were going to be possible coups now
Yeah,
if he
so
didn't do
he
anything.
does the thing that preserves, and it was painful for him. Like, this is something that he
Yes.
brings up constantly, that
Yes.
this was a painful decision for him.
Yes.
He did
Yes.
not want to divorce Storm. He loved her
Yes.
a lot. And
Yes.
Storm fans will want to change things and be like, he was doing this and he had a plan for that and yada, yada, yada. But it's just like, first off and foremost, you have like people don't understand T'Challa as a character, right? This is not Batman. Batman is in control of a city, in control of a city.
Right.
T'Challa is king of an entire country, like
I mean,
entire nation.
the
Like,
only closest comparison I can get to T'Challa is like T'Challa is a good version of Doctor Doom.
Hmm.
so what I'm saying is that when he's
Yes.
making
You're right.
decisions, he has to separate how he feels and what's practical for the country. So we're gonna get into some storylines where I'll show you guys exactly what that means and everything, and how he masterfully manages to work it around such that all of the stuff can fall into his favor. But like that's the thing with Avengers versus X-Men,
Sure.
is
Okay,
that
Yeah.
so
So
I
sorry.
understand. I get
The
the
last
gist
thing.
of he made a good thing. He made a good thing out of a bad situation because that
Mm,
from what you're telling me that everything sucked.
it was
yeah.
such terrible writing. It was horrible.
Really? Do you think it was terrible writing?
Yes, because
Personally,
like
I think
Storm is
I.
inconsistent. Like
Okay.
what people need to understand about Storm, right? When Xavier finds her, what Storm was doing is she was helping local villagers with their crops.
Yeah.
Storm has never been a person where she's just about mutants and mutants alone. That's not
Right.
something that's part of her character.
She was
Yes,
Right.
if
literally
someone
worshipped
is
as a goddess in
yes,
Yeah.
Africa, and it's like,
Yes.
yes, yes,
This
but
is
she
in. I
didn't
think
do that.
this was Uncanny X-Men. I think when it
Yes,
was written by. Who's this guy? Was it? I think
not
Lin Win.
Claremont. I think
No, it was before Claremont. I think Lin Win was involved as an artist, and who's this guy again?
I know who
Sorry.
you're talking about, but I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, the point is that she was doing that stuff because it was in her nature. Because we get back into her backstory and like she like when she was a thief and everything and all of that stuff. So a lot of the poverty that she went through shaped her as a person to say that when anybody is suffering and I can do something, that's what I'm going to do.
going to do.
And consequent and by consequence, that's when she became worshipped as a goddess. And yeah, she
Yes.
enjoyed it because Storm, like people enjoy adulation, but she didn't do it
Yeah,
because
Yes.
people were worshiping her.
And
So
correct me if I'm wrong. I think she was created to be sort of like Marvel's version of Wonder Woman.
yeah. I,
Yeah.
I definitely because
But I think
she's
I think
actually
her
supposed
being
to be the most storied. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
sorry, I think but her being in the X-Men sort of limited
Oh,
that
big time,
potential.
big time.
Yeah. I
it
I
think
it limited her potential, and then you also see as time goes on, it became more of her identity was sort of became synonymous with the X-Men. I
mm,
think what hurt Storm's story the most is that she never actually had her own separate comic series.
yes.
If
No,
Yes.
she
see,
had,
and it's so like the other thing is it's frustrating with Marvel, and I'm bringing this back to T'Challa, but it's frustrating with Marvel because she's had three, I think, miniseries, three or
mm,
four miniseries, Storm, where it's her and she's the protagonist, and you getting into her story.
Right.
Did
mm,
they market one of them?
Of course not. Why would they?
Why? Like,
Why would they?
and that's what I'm saying. When like this T'Challa thing, it's been prevalent. Like black characters in Western media, especially in the comic book arena, have
They
never
take a
been
back.
treated well. They've
Yeah. The,
it's just like T'Challa is like he's the exception of the exception. If people
yeah.
actually think about it, there is not one black character you can think of that has 200 comics dedicated to their name. Can you find me one?
Don't worry. I'll wait.
And I know people
Yeah.
want to say, well, there's John Stewart in Green Lantern. He was not the original Green Lantern. Green Lantern doesn't belong to John Stewart. Like John
Right.
Stewart has to share that. Like
Right.
for 60 years in comic books, T'Challa was
Right.
the main character.
Mm.
Right.
And he
Right.
still didn't get the push that he was supposed to get because people go like, well, and it's just like, no, Marvel
No,
at
no,
some stage was failing. Marvel at some stage was failing. They still made
They nearly
Iron Man
went.
comics.
They nearly went bankrupt in the 90s.
Yes, and
no.
in that time,
I hate to sound like the pragmatically evil supervillain that Marvel these Marvel executives are. It's just a matter of population dynamics. They think, okay, not enough. That there's a certain number of African Americans in this country who consume comics, and they erroneously think, okay, of this demographic, they're not known for reading, so why should we invest so much on resources on a group that won't give us quote unquote enough returns, not having the foresight to think on a global scale. I mean, worldwide, if you think about it worldwide, black people, a black character has been the thing that actually saved Marvel, especially in the film industry. And I'm talking about Blade. If it wasn't for Blade, we wouldn't have the MCU. So
speaking
if I
of
had to,
which, speaking of which, where is his movie? God damn it, Marvel, stop playing, yo. Anyway, sorry.
I think it's
so
the strike. I think that could be
No,
wrong.
it's not the strike. This movie was announced in 2019. You know what else was announced in 2019?
A lot of
Guardians of
fun.
the Galaxy 3, I Am Groot the TV series, WandaVision,
Right.
Falcon and the
Miss
Winter
Marvel.
Soldier, Miss Marvel. What happened? What was happening
And
before?
funny enough, even Armor Wars, we're still waiting for Armor Wars. Is this coming out?
Like, do people not
so
see what is happening here? Do we not see what's going on here? So anyway, I don't want to take it too much to the race because somebody's gonna twist it and and
So
try and do something.
the third thing that I just wanted to mention is, contrary to popular belief, well, in the latest in this current years, Fantastic Four actually introduced a whole lot of characters that we know and love today. If it wasn't for Fantastic Four, we wouldn't have known Silver Surfer, Galactus. We wouldn't
Mm,
have known
freaking Namor.
the Skrulls,
mm.
right? No, Namor was before. It was before the Fantastic Four, because Namor was created in the I think 40s or 50s.
Yeah, but he gets
Oh,
revitalized in the
In
Fantastic
Fantastic
Four.
Four, yes, you're
and
right.
like he's a serious threat, and then for some reason he has a thing for Susan Storm. Anyway,
It
Sue
still doesn't make
fine.
sense.
Sue is fine.
Yeah, but
I get it.
it still
I'm,
doesn't
I'm,
make sense though.
but I'm just saying, Sue is spoken for. And now this guy,
Do
this
you think niggas care?